Welcome to Brilliance Code, where we design SuiteDash tutorials, systems, and workflows that streamline your business and provide personal development frameworks to produce lasting results in your life. Please leave your feedback below about how we can improve, because ultimately we are here to serve and support you. And if you found this video helpful, share it with your network. I am so excited for this overview today. We are going to learn what the checkout form is versus other types of forms, 3 key advantages of the checkout form, and how to creatively apply the checkout form and all of its opportunities and possibilities in your business today. Now, a 30,000-foot view of the checkout form is it allows you to accept immediate payment for your products and your services. It also gives you the opportunity to customize your offers with packages, items, and add-ons. And finally, it helps you streamline customer onboarding. Now, what is the checkout form? Let's demystify that just a little bit. So, the checkout form is an advanced form that allows businesses, in particular yours, to build a combination of items, add-ons, and packages, as well as subscription packages, then provide a safe yet effective way for your clients and prospective clients to pay for those offers in real time. The first key advantage of the checkout form, frankly, there's many, but I wanted to dial it into 3 key advantages. The first one is granular automations, and we're going to go into all of this during our training portion of the video. So, granular automations provide for you the ability to pre-configure the same no-code automations at every single level. What I mean by that is you can apply these no-code automations to the items, to the add-ons, to the subscriptions, and to the packages. So you can get extremely granular with all of the different pieces of the automation puzzle. The second key advantage is flexibility and real-time payments. Clients and prospects essentially can choose from your pre-built offerings and securely and swiftly pay for your products and services. Lastly, but definitely not least, the third key advantage of the checkout form is streamlined onboarding for both your clients and your team. The checkout form gives you the ability to lock in the same assignments that you would by leveraging the familiar Kickoff form backend framework. Now, if you're not exactly sure what I mean by this last point here, don't worry. We're going to show you in real time exactly what we mean. I'm excited. Let's get this show up on the road and start getting y'all paid. So we are here, and it's now. It's time to check out the checkout form and what it has in store for us. Sorry for the little dad joke. Anyway, we're in the dashboard here in Vandelay Industries. We're going to head right over here to Forms. Now, as we all know by now, to create a new form, we're either going to click on the Create Form button, or we're going to select from this drop-down the form that we're going to want to create, and we're going to choose Create a Checkout Form. Now, we'll give our form a title. We'll just say Checkout Form. Now that we've given our form a title, we'll choose from our available gateways. I'll just choose Stripe, and the custom invoice title is just going to be Product. Next, we'll go here and configure our checkout options. This here is where we're going to select either our items and add-ons or our packages. Now, first we need to select the currency, either euros or USD. And we'll just give this a title, even though that's not required in the item section title here. And we'll just add an item. You can add as many items as you want. You can also add as many add-ons as you want as well. You can configure, as you see here, an add-ons section title as well, and limit the number of add-ons. Of course, you can apply whatever sales tax you need to if you need to collect sales tax or whatever the case. I'm not a financial advisor or an accountant. Please consult with either of those with respect to taxes or anything related to that sort of stuff. Anyway, same exact concept here with respect to the packages, except for, as you can see, with the packages, you cannot add add-ons to the packages. And the reason for that is because a package typically is going to include a bundle of items or add-ons. And so we can give that a title if we want. I'm not going to go ahead and do that because I already have my products here. And we'll go ahead and we'll save. Now, I'm not going to save this form because I don't have the available gateway set up all the way. That's a prerequisite. You're going to want to do that either through, as you can see, Stripe, Braintree, Authorize.net. Before you create your checkout form, please do that. That way it's going to save you some time and you don't sit there and set all of this up and then you get an error message like you'll see here. I'll just go ahead really quick and assign a coordinator myself, and I'll go ahead and try to save this. Save and keep editing. Man, that's one of my favorite features in this platform. Anyway, as you can see here, the payment gateway credentials are not configured, and there's a link to go right ahead into the invoice gateways and set that up. And so, as you can see here, as I'd mentioned in my introduction, you can add all of the different things from contact fields, company fields, CRM target fields, even project custom fields. You can use advanced blocks. For example, if you wanted to create a situation where somebody pays for a consultation with you, you could utilize the appointment block, set up a custom appointment type specifically for that. We're not going to go into that, but that is an opportunity. You can even use a choice block to get a further granular setup with the checkout form. And of course, we're going to go soon here into the granular automations I was mentioning earlier with respect to the items, add-ons, packages, and subscriptions. At any rate, with that stuff out of the way, we're going to move right down here. And as I had mentioned earlier in my introduction, we can take all of the different assignments, automations, and so forth that we're familiar with from the Kickoff form and apply them to this checkout form. So, for example, let's say you didn't want an onboarding flow to fire when ABC product service item is paid for, but instead you want that onboarding flow to be placed at the form submission level. That is where you would set this particular automation at. Again, it's up to you. This is totally flexible, customizable to your needs, your business, the way that you work, your workflow. And so these are just options. Of course, you can select MLS products. As an example, if you wanted to onboard somebody into your new course and have them pay prior to accessing that material, this is yet another assignment that you can make with the selecting of MLS products in this initial checkout form setup. And that way they can pay to enroll and then be enrolled via no-code automations. Wonderful. This is my favorite form in the entire platform. I hope you can tell. Now, you see here, we have the portal invitation and communications. You can set up send the portal access emails. Same thing with sending a submission to the coordinator when the target completes the form. That way, all parties involved being informed of what's going on, when they're going on, and so forth. Now, all of the same things apply for the settings for the known targets that apply to the known target settings for the kickoff forms as well. So I'm not going to repeat myself here. I think that'd be a little redundant, but essentially you can do the same exact thing with the known targets in a checkout form that you're able to do in a kickoff form. See, the project generators, all the assignments, communications, so forth. You can even send additional email notifications to other individuals within the platform. So with that being said, it sounds like we are ready to set up and go through the granular automations that I was mentioning earlier. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to head right over here to our office and we're going to go to settings. In the office settings, we can see items, add-ons, packages, taxes, so forth. When it comes to the granularity, for example, let's go into items. We already have an item here, and I'll just click into the International Market Research and Analysis item. Now we have all that taken care of. You can configure automations when an invoice is paid with this item. Now, let's say, for example, you have your checkout form and you have this International Market Research and Analysis item within that checkout form. When that checkout form is submitted and the client fulfills the payment, at that point, this automation is going to trigger the same way that the automation would trigger if you had placed this item in, for example, an on-demand invoice generator. So pretty darn cool. Now, we'll just save that. With the add-ons, we'll just create a new add-on really quick. New add-on. I'll just copy this for brevity's sake. Nothing fancy. Add-on price, we'll do $100. And you can do a custom price description. Now, when it comes to this conditional availability, I do want to take a brief pause and explain that so that you better understand the sheer power you have with this little feature here. So as we can all read, it says it's only available when the following items are offered or selected. So for example, with this new add-on, we can say that the International Market Research and Analysis must be selected in order for the contact or the target to add this add-on into their final deliverable, as it were. And I'm actually going to leave that conditional availability setting here for demonstration purposes later on. When we look at the checkout form in real time, we'll be able to see exactly what this means. Essentially, what will happen is when the target goes to select the add-on, they will first have to select the item, which would be the International Market Research and Analysis first, and then they can select the add-on, add it to their cart, so to speak. And as we can see, require all items to be selected for this add-on to be available. So if you wanted to add another item into this conditional availability, that's exactly where you would do that. Now, remember when I said the trigger automations when an invoice is paid with this item earlier? The same exact thing applies. Let's say you wanted a file request to trigger when the International Market Research and Analysis item is paid for via the checkout form, and you wanted a totally separate automation to fire when this add-on is paid for via the checkout form. This is exactly where you would go, and you would set those automations. So with that, I'll just go and save. And now we get to the packages. Now we have no packages here. I'll go ahead and I'll create a new package. I'll just title this new package. Copy that. All of those wonderful things to speed this process along. And we will say this is $10,000. And we'll make it 100. Why not? Now, you can, of course, put this custom price description here. So, as an example, you could bundle and save with, there you go, the one-time price. Now, you can include items in this package. So let's say you wanted to add the international market research and analysis, and you wanted to add the new add-on. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to go up here and I'm going to put that at 9,000. Why not? So what will go on here is that when the target views the checkout form that has this package inside of it, they will see the price of $9,000, and instead of, when they go to submit payment, being charged $15,100 for their item plus their add-on, we can give them a little bit of a savings for bundling those things together. Of course, all of that being said, you want to follow your own best practices and how your business has everything fitting all together with it. Now let's move down here really quick to the trigger automations. So we're able to, once again, trigger automations when an invoice is paid with this package. So as twice before, when they pay for this package, you can set automations to fire at the package level. And so the result would be kind of a Russian nesting doll, so to speak, of automations. And you can have an overarching automation with respect to this package. And you can have what I would refer to in this case as mini automations or sub automations. That's obviously not an official SuiteDash term, but it makes it easier for me to remember the granularity that we can achieve with the checkout form and the different automations for items, add-ons, and packages. Now, I'm not yet going to save this because we'll go right up here and we can see that we have a subscription plan. So let's say we want to add our quarterly export documentation and compliance subscription, which is a quarterly subscription that we set up. Now, you may be wondering, Mitchell, why can't we just select a subscription? Why does it have to be part of this package? Well, SuiteDash wonderfully is in the process of adding subscriptions themselves to the checkout form with Checkout Form 2.0. Certainly be on the lookout for that. Keep checking on the roadmap. As I'm sure you're aware, there are no definitive time frames for that, but yes, in the future, kind of a sneak peek, so to speak, is going to have the ability to utilize one-time payments, add-ons, packages, and subscription plans to the checkout form. At any rate, you can, again, configure the automations for this package, and you can also configure the automations on the subscription level. So you could have, not advising on this, but you could have 100 automations firing just from a single action taken by a target when they submit your checkout form and getting paid all along the way. Pretty darn cool, huh? I really like it myself. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to choose one-time payment. We'll just set everything back. I'm not going to set any sort of automations here. I'll just save. So with everything all set up, let's go check out our checkout form. Now look at this beauty that we created here together. We see our item here, the international market research and analysis. Of course, insert your own product or service here. Let's see, there's a show more. And, oh, when selected, we see the new add-on that we had created. Now, remember that conditional availability that we set in this add-on earlier, and how in order for this add-on to be available for purchase, they had to first select the item that we attached to that add-on. That's the exact result we're seeing here. Let's go ahead real quick, deselect that, and now they can't choose that add-on. Now, let's say they don't try to choose anything, but for whatever reason, they want to go to the next step of the buying process. They're going to see this error message to please select an item or a package with a value. Makes total sense here. So they're going to select that, and let's say they're going to select a new add-on. I've already pre-filled this information in here, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me do that. Now, let's say for whatever reason they have a little bit of buyer's remorse about the add-on before they've even processed the payment. All they'd have to do is click this little go back button, deselect the add-on. As we can see, it's deselected from the total, as we see here, and they'll just move to the next step. They have all this information already here, and move to the final step, which would be, of course, processing the payment and beginning to enjoy the value that you put forth as an organization. I want to thank you so much for your time here today. This was an extremely fun lesson. I hope you learned a lot. If you did enjoy it, please thumbs up this video, share it with a colleague if you found value from it, and subscribe for more videos just like this.